Hey, what's up, guys? This is James. This is my first installment in a piece I'm going to be calling, "And That's Awesome." I realize I'm starting the title with a prepositional phrase or whatnot, but the and's prepositional. Whatever it is, you're not supposed to start sentences with the word and, but I decided to do so anyway, because I think it's going to be cool. And That's Awesome is the name of this little show I'm going to work on. And what I'm going to do is talk about things that are really positive and awesome, mostly because these days there aren't a lot of things people talk about that are very awesome. Most people say that we're talking about the economy, or talking about the crappy real estate market, or talking about terrorism and everything else. So to contrast with that, I decided to start something where I talk about things that are awesome. So I'm going to pick one thing at a time and talk about it for a little while, just to hopefully boost you guys' spirits. By you guys, I mean no one right now, but as time goes on, maybe I can cheer a few people up that are so caught up in all the negativity around the world that they can't really see the benefits and the good things that are still out there for all of us to take advantage of. So, this is the first episode of And That's Awesome. Alright, this first one I'm going to talk about something that I personally think is super awesome. That is autonomous reflexes. Autonomous actions in general that humans partake in, things that I think we all really take for granted. But if it weren't for them, then life would be certainly much more difficult. These are things like the ability to walk, and for instance, what I'm doing right now, walking and talking to the camera, is something that it doesn't take a lot of concentration for me to do it, but at the same time I can do it and totally pull it off and not be tripping. I'm not telling my left and right leg right now to move and pick up and go down and step forward and push and lean. All that stuff is happening automatically for me. All I have to do is send little tiny messages completely unintentionally to my feet to do all that work for me. This is called an autonomous process. And it's something that octopi, or octopuses, however you prefer to pronounce that, have been doing for, supposedly millions of years or whatnot. They have 8 legs, but of course they don't have the mental capacity to control 8 legs at a time. And yet they do this all throughout their lives to move along the ocean floor and pick up shellfish and break them open and slurp them down and all that kind of stuff. Apparently, they don't have the mental articulation to actually do that, or I guess actually the tentacle articulation to do that. And even though they're massively intelligent, they're not quite intelligent enough to control 8 limbs at once. So they give their legs a basic message like move forward, grab this, peel this open, whatever it might be, and their arms just kind of take over. That's something that our feet do as well. You can look right here, I'm not telling my feet to walk, yet they just keep on moving, all by themselves. Now, of course, it is an involuntary process, me moving my feet, but it can be voluntary. As you can see, I can start running, or I can really slowly and deliberately, as you can see. Sort of a goose step going on there. I can do these things because I want to. So I don't want to think about them, and instead I just want to think about talking to the camera and getting where I'm going. That's why I'm taking care of one. Now that's awesome. Please go further than that. I'm talking to you right now, and you realize that I'm not thinking about exactly how I want to move my mouth. I'm not thinking about how much breath I want to draw in. I'm not thinking about moving my teeth a certain way or lining my lips, against each other right at the exact moment. I'm just thinking of the words. And they're coming out of my mouth, and they're going to the microphone on this camera, and you guys are able to interpret that. It's become such an autonomous process that people say I have a problem with talking too fast sometimes, which I think I just did. I tend to just get really caught up in something, just as quickly as I can, and if you really think about it, it's a pretty amazing process when people speak. Any other sound that you want to make, you have to really plan out. If you're playing the drums, or strumming a guitar, everything's very well thought out. Yet with speaking, arguably one of the most elaborate things that mankind has ever pulled off is vocal communication. Yet we do it every single day without even realizing it. We do it every single day without trying to. We have a cognitive process that's translated into the manipulation of air in such a way that it gets to someone's ears and they can interpret it instantaneously and understand exactly what you're trying to say. Brilliant. Completely autonomous. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be. You can decide to say things a certain way. You can decide to control what it is you say. But if you don't try to control it, then 9 times out of 10 it's going to come out all right anyway. For example, when people are really drunk, they tend to slur their speech, and yet they're still able to put together sentences nonetheless. Unless you're hallucinating something terrible, you can usually put together words pretty well, even when you're inebriated. So autonomous processes, they allow us to live and do things without having to concentrate too much, and in the end, it allows life to go on as it does. Of course, it would suck if you couldn't. If you couldn't have autonomous processes like this, then you'd have to either sit at home all day or be really, really, really good at controlling your muscles and things to actually get around. So life is here as we know it because of autonomous processes such as walking, talking, chewing gum, things like that. And that's awesome. And that's today's show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day.